Hello and welcome all here to another Sonic video. I'm never going to escape this curse. You're probably asking yourself, why am I doing this now when I could wait for Sonic Colors Ultimate? Well, I still plan on doing a Sonic Colors Ultimate video, but just as what it adds and what makes it a good remake. Although I'm worried because so far they haven't showed anything new other than new music remixes and Tails Assist. Also, it's June, the month of Sonic. Anyway, let's get on to this game you clicked the video for. Sonic Colors to me was a game. I played it, thought it was good, and never played it again. Then I played it again and then again for the review. This game is a mixed bag for me. Back when this game came out 10 years ago, what the heck? Jeez, time moves by quick. Anyway, when the game came out 10 years ago, people thought that this was Sonic's grand return to greatness after the quote-unquote bomb that was Sonic Unleashed, even though the game was good. I really want to do a video on Sonic Unleashed HD and the Wii version. I'm gonna have to stop talking about Unleashed because I'm gonna go on a tangent on why Sonic Unleashed is a good game. Anyway, the gameplay of Daytime Sonic returned without his nighttime counterpart. The boost gameplay recently has been getting worse and worse and just tanked with forces. But in this game, the level design is mixed. I will talk about the level design later, but for now, note that I have a big problem with the level design. So first we have the opening, Reach for the Stars, which is a beautiful song and perfect for this game. A beautiful opening cinematic that just oozes greatness. Now the game starts with Tropical Resort Act 1, no cutscene, just go. And this looks beautiful, especially for the Wii. But let's talk about Sonic's moveset. Sonic has a double jump, a wall jump, a slide, a boost, a dash without the boost, and a dash with the boost. Instead of using rings to power his boost, Sonic used the new Wisp power-up. I'm gonna hate this word. This game's gimmick. In this case, the Boost Wisp. I'll talk about each Wisp as they get introduced, but Wisp are a way to give Sonic more variety in moves since the Wii Remote has like 2 buttons. I'm fine with the Wisp being the way Sonic boosts, and I do like how one capsule isn't enough for Sonic's boost gauge to fill completely. By the way, Sonic can do a short hop without turning into a ball for consistent speed. Tropical Resort Act 1 also acts like a tutorial without forcing you to stop and letting you play normally, which is something that I always liked. You can also see what Wisp capsules that have no Wisp in them, encouraging you to come back and play the act again. Also, this. On to Act 2, and still no cutscene. Where am I? Who am I? And
who is this Maria?
Act 2 is pretty normal and is... Ooh, finally, cutscene. What I wouldn't give for the maddening silence of space right now. Let's just say Sonic Colors writing isn't the best. Anyway, Act 3 is here, and we got our first quick step segment. Like I said, since you couldn't do much on the Wii Remote, they added these segments for quick stepping and drifting. We also got our first Wisp power-up, the Cyan Laser, which turns you into a laser and allows you to go at laser speed? Act 3 is also the start of my second problem with colors, the 2D level design and the blocks. In my personal opinion, there are too many 2D sections or levels in this game. I'll mention what levels are all 2D, but I feel like more than 60 or 70% of this game is 2D. Speaking of which, Act 4 is all 2D. What fun! And it's short. I understand they're supposed to come back here once you have more Wisps, but when you first go through it, it's literally 30 seconds. Act 5 is all 2D, and the only 3D part is stolen from Act 3. Act 6 is all 2D, and there's switches to wait on. Yay. After another unfunny cutscene, we have our first boss, and it's easy, but it's excused because it's the first boss. After we beat the boss, we have access to 2 new worlds, Sweet Mountain and Starlight Carnival. I like the semi-openness and the options that it gave me. Of course, I usually choose Sweet Mountain first because it feels weird to choose Starlight Carnival, but the option's still nice. Sweet Mountain is a food and candy based planet, hence the name. Act 1 holds the first drifting segment using the B button to replace the boost. As we drift into another 2D segment, we meet Yellow Drill, which was primarily used in 2D. As the name implies, you're able to dig into dirt, or in this case, cake, and drill. You're also able to drill underwater, but I'll talk about that in Aquarium Park. Act 2 is mostly 2D, with nothing really special to say about it, but I did get stuck on this section and had to do it over again. In Act 3, we see Orange Rocket shooting you up and allowing you to slowly come back down. In this game, it's only used in 2D, but weirdly enough, in Sonic Lost World, it's used in 3D. As we go into Act 4, I freaking despise this level. My first problem with it is that it's only in 2D, which I'll excuse because there's like 40 2D levels. But the biggest issue is the fact that they make you wait and push on switches. This isn't fun gameplay. Waiting on switches as they slowly turn is stupid. And if the switch was faster, I would still hate it, but would have been less harsh. But geez, man, this isn't fun. And the last thing you want in your game to be is not fun. Also, paper M&Ms. Act 5 is pretty good. I have no issues with it. Same with Act 6. The only issue is that it's all 2D. Now we have the second boss. Well, all you have to do is just run up to him, hit the switch, and hit him. Like the first boss, you can use the Wisp to finish the boss quicker and get a better rank. After that, we go to the world that you didn't choose next, which in my case was Starlight Carnival. And let me just say that the outside of Starlight Carnival looks so nice. The inside is matte because it's mostly grayish, but the colors in the outside are gorgeous. I hope it looks as nice in Sonic Colors Ultimate. Here in Act 1, we get introduced to Blue Cube, which in my opinion sucks. It stops Sonic dead in his tracks and turns the blue rings into cubes and vice versa. I usually don't like something stopping Sonic's speed unless it's for a good reason. Act 2 is fine, it's all 2D, and you get to use the Cube Wisp to get around some areas. Act 3 is also all 2D, and you get to use a new sprint gimmick, which is fine, can be slow sometimes, and you can go too fast, but overall it's okay. I know you're probably tired of me saying, but say it with me, Act 4 is an all 2D stage that is okay, but I would have liked to see it in 3D. Act 5 also has another new wisp, Green Hover, which allows you to, hover, and when you're near rings, you can light speed dash. Act 6 is mainly vertical and is all 2D. Before the boss, we have a cutscene, which establishes Eggman's plan to mind control the universe and control Tails, but runs out of Wisp energy. I thought it would be cool to fight Tails in a boss fight, but alas, we don't. And we fight a boss who I think is pretty fun. Sucker thought this too because they use this fight again. In fact, they use all the boss fights again. This is the last original boss fight other than the final one. In this, Sonic runs down any homing attack parts of him, and you can use laser to kill him faster. And after we beat the boss, we have 3 new planets unlocked: Planet Wisp, Aquarium Park, and Asteroid Coaster. Next up is Planet Wisp, the home of the Wisps, and this is gorgeous. I like the level theme of half nature and half mechanical, since we later learn that Eggman isn't finished building this part of the planet. Kinda reminds me of Mother 3 a little bit. Act 1 is great, it looks, sounds, and feels amazing. We also get to see a new Wisp, Pink Spike. It allows Sonic to stick to walls and spin dash, and it feels great. For some reason when I was younger, I hated this Wisp. I think it's because I played Generations before this, and I hated Planet Wisps in that game, and just associated Planet Wisps to Spike. Act 2 is all 2D, and is fine. It's not as fun as Act 1, but it's passable. Act 3 is pretty fun, and Act 4 is just... oh, Act 4. When I first played this, I struggled a lot on this stage. There were other parts of this stage I was confused about, but the main part was this part. Originally, I didn't know that you had to boost on this dash pad, and if you don't boost, you fall to this section, and this was the section I sucked at too. So I just kept falling and repeating sections over and over again until I finally realized you had to boost. No other part of this game makes it mandatory to boost on a dash pad before or after this, so I was very confused. Act 5 is all 2D, and Act 6 is pretty fun, but I died, so it's the worst stage in Sonic Colors. The boss is just Tropical Resort's boss, but with Spike instead of laser. Okay, we're almost done. 2 more planets. Show me your worst, Aquarium Park. You're a water level, right? So I prepared for the worst. Wait, what is this? It looks so beautiful. The music is gorgeous. The levels are fun. Holy moly, this is probably my favorite world. Act 1 is perfect. I love everything about this act. Though what I want to touch upon is Sonic's swimming mechanics. Sonic can infinitely, or has a lot of jumps, he can do in water. I don't know if many people prefer this, but I like it. Also, drill is able to be used underwater. It feels a little bit more loose than when it's underground, but it still feels good to use. Act 2 is, sadly, all 2D, and my old nemesis cube and switches are back, but can be excused for the awesome music and chill atmosphere. Act 3 is mostly 2D, but given it's fun to play, it's great. Act 4 is great. I need something other than great. Synonyms for great. Oh, this stage is substantial. Oh, and this big purple guy, he will be mentioned later, don't worry. I'm gonna be frank though, Act 5 is not as enjoyable as the other acts due to the fact that I don't like the spring levels, but it's alright. Act 6 is extraordinary, but Riku Shark. The boss is Sweet Mountain, but with drill. With drill underwater. Now finally, Asteroid Coaster, the final world before the final boss. Let's do this at supersonic speed. Actually, before we begin, if you're wondering how I went from 30 lives to 2, well, to make a long story short, I had to record this game twice because the quality wasn't in HD. Everything you saw before this was the second recording, and everything from now on is the first recording. Planet Wisp Act 4 messed me up, man. Now, Act 1, it's awesome, and it hosts the final new wisp of this game, Frenzy, a Nega-Wisp. It turns Sonic into a monster with a vicious appetite, which makes Sonic grow bigger the more he chomps. He's a little hard to control, but something tells me that was intentional. Act 2 is fine, Act 3 is pretty creative due to the two ways to beat it, Cube or Spike. You knew which one I chose. Act 4 is literally just going around in a circle. I don't know what they were thinking with this one. Now, before we go to Act 5, we have a cutscene. I know I haven't been talking about the cutscenes a lot, because they're usually just
baldy nose hair!
But this one's important to the story. It shows Eggman making the Nega-Wisp, and the fact that Tails hasn't seen Yakers for a while. Act 5 brought back my favorite mechanic, waiting on switches, because God knows I love waiting on switches. Other than that though, the level's fine. Act 6 is pretty cool, and it has the game's only mini-boss, if you don't count the purple guy as a mini-boss. The boss is, say it with me, a repeat of Starlight Carnival's boss, but instead of Laser, you have Rocket. And with it, the day is saved, but we unlocked one extra area. Let's see what it is. Well, Eggman tries to execute his plan, which backfires due to the fact that when we defeated the first boss, his arm penetrated part of the machine. Now as Sonic makes an Eggman's hair joke that I actually like, we enter Terminal Velocity Act 1. This level is pretty difficult the first time around, though once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. What I want to talk about is the purple robot that we saw all the way back in Aquarium Park Act 4. He's back, and I want to say something about him. When I first played this, I hated him. When you first encounter him, you have to dodge his punches by boosting because you can't jump. But now you can jump. And let me just say, you should boost because you can completely outpace him by boosting to the point where his lasers don't even reach you. Now we beat the act and it's almost home. But of course, Eggman stops us for one final confrontation, the Nega-Wisp armor, and I freaking love this boss fight. Granted, this boss fight is pretty easy, but the atmosphere, the music, oh, the music is just great. I'll talk about the music later, but this theme is an orchestrated version of Reach for the Stars, and it just melts my heart. The Nega-Wisp armor uses the Wisp powers against you, Frenzy to make them purple and more powerful, I guess. He also uses Laser, Cube, and Spike. I always assumed that he used Hover to make him float. A few notes to make this boss fight better is maybe to use more Wisp, for example, Rocket to shoot missiles at you, or Drill to turn the Nega-Wisp armor's hand into a drill and stab Sonic quickly, or something like that. Eggman can actually combine Wisp power-ups like Cube and Spike, but I beat him too quickly for that. After you gain all the Wisps, you can do your ultimate attack.
Unlimited colors! Laser! Drill! Spike! Rocket! Cube! Hover! Frenzy! Final color blaster!
And we beat Eggman. After that, we try to outpace a black hole, and Sonic gets sucked in. The Wisp carry and save Sonic, put him back on his planet, and the day is saved. Yakers says his goodbyes, and we never see the Wisps again. The very, very, very long credits play with a banger of a song, and that's Sonic Colors. It was a weird experience, but before I talk about that, I want to talk about the music and the extra. The music in Sonic Colors is freaking amazing, and pretty much every song in the game is just amazing. Each planet has a theme, then a remix of the themes. My top ones are Reach for the Stars, Speak With Your Heart, which is the credits theme, Tropical Resort, Aquarium Park, and a bunch more. The extras in the game are letting you watch the credits again. No thank you. The X Shuttle, which holds the time trial-like theme, options, and the Sonic Simulator, which gives you level to attempt the Chaos Emeralds. This also acts as a multiplayer part too. I know I haven't talked about it, but you can get red rings from the normal acts to unlock more levels. Maybe when Sonic Colors Ultimate comes out, I'll 100% this, because right now, I'm all colors out. Sonic Colors is a mixed bag for me. I don't hate it. There are many things I like about this game, but the fact that 80% of the game is 2D, the level design choices are dumb, and the writing is pretty bad bogs it down for me. Even with all that though, if you want to get into the Sonic series, I recommend this game, or Ultimate when it comes out in September. Though I'll say that this game can be a lot of fun sometimes if you ignore the problems with the levels and the writing. It could be a fun experience.